This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello, my friends. It's me, Drew Michael. And you're laying on my stomach. You're on top of me. What is it like? Is it fun? It's probably really soft, like like a quilt or like a pile of old condoms. Okay. It's been a day. I'm so sorry. I have been working for the last 12 hours at work. Almost, not quite. Almost 12 hours. It was a busy day. It was a Tuesday, and I went from one thing to the next and could not believe how quickly time was passing, but also just like how much I felt consistently like I had not gotten enough done. Like, it's just the funniest thing. As an employee who is salaried, who works 9 to 5, I just like cannot get over feeling like that it's so easy to waste so much time. And I'm not really sure who to blame other than myself. I kind of want to blame my coworkers, but I also think that we have a lot of fun. And it's like good to have fun at work, but we also have goals, and I just feel like I really want to achieve my goals, right? This is Make Sex With Me, a podcast where occasionally we have goals and we achieve them. And I wonder if you can hear me breathing. I'm laying in bed. I'm literally so exhausted. I was not able to sleep. What happened last night? I don't know. I've been having trouble, not falling asleep, but occasionally trouble just focusing on my it's time for bed. Go the fuck to sleep. I think I've been having issues with just being I'm really horny. I have to masturbate, and it's already 12 o'clock and I have to get up at 7 tomorrow. So I really shouldn't. But then being yeah, but what am I going to do about this erection? Something has been sparked. Something has changed within me. Some things are not the same. All right, I don't think I can legally sing more of that right now. Still haven't seen Wicked. There's just lots of sexy things happening. I've also been having bouts of I'm so happy with my new life, and I actually kind of freaked myself out this morning thinking that oh my God, I am too happy. And it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous being happy. It's so weird how somebody such as myself, who is used to being unhappy or depressed or just like things aren't going the way you want them to for so long. And you have traumatic things that have occurred in your life, and you're like just always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And yeah, it's so fun when things are going well and you're just like, it makes you almost anxious when you're too happy. I also used to say that like when I would laugh like really hard, it like I didn't like it because it made me feel like I was gonna die. Like laughing made me feel like I was gonna die. And I think I got over that, but the feeling I think of just like uncontrollable happiness was just so foreign to me. It scared me. I don't know. But things are working out so much better for me now, and I can definitely see a future that is much brighter, much more exciting. Although I definitely had a talk with my boss today that was like, yeah, so you make the money you make, and like basically the association can't afford to pay you anymore. And like you could make more money, but like the starting salary for like her position is like only so much. And like, yeah, it's like 20,000 more than what I make, but it's still like not enough. I don't think it's enough for like the amount of work it entails. And I don't know, I have a lot of work to do. Like my job is like, I'm really busy. I always have things to do. I always have a lot to do. And I feel like there's so many meetings and so many like coachings and so many conversations. And sometimes I just have things I have to get done. And I'm just like, if I talk to one more person about like what we're getting ready to do, like we just haven't done yet, I literally am going to scream because I am ready to start doing these things right now. And it feels like everyone else is just like still planning. I don't know. We have conversations. It's like I'll have like a meeting and then I'll have to like go meet with someone else and discuss what happened in that meeting. And it's like the person in the initial meeting tells me I should go share this information with the other person. But then I'm like, why weren't they just here? Like, why didn't we just have one meeting? And I guess the answer is that, well, there's things that are going to be talked about in this first meeting that the second person doesn't need to know, but there are some things that they will need to know. So just deliver half the things and we'll be all set. So that's my life. I will say that I am starting to make some interesting acquaintances at this gym I've been working out at on the weekends in Ann Arbor. And the professor that we talked about last time, he is becoming an interesting acquaintance of mine. He told me that I looked like a Stewart, like the royal family of Stewarts, with my hair down after my shower. And I thought, okay, cool. I was like, was there a lot of gingers in that family? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Like one of the forgotten Stuart princes. Like he was like, that's you. Ooh, little San Pellegrine. Oh, I don't think I should be drinking this while lying down. I might explode. The Jewish guy from last week, he's re-entered. And Sexy Foreskin guy would have re-entered if I had been at the sauna on like the day before, but I couldn't go on Saturday because I had to work. So I went on Sunday. And apparently the professor and the Jewish guy go there like every day. So that's interesting. I also met this really, really fine Indian guy who was like being so ridiculously like he likes his body, he likes his cock, he likes everything about himself, and he knows that people want what he's got. He knows he's attractive, and he was like flashing me and teasing me and like acting like he wasn't. And I was just like, okay, so maybe you're just like really comfortable with your body and like you're not like thinking about what you're doing, but like I'm pretty sure you're thinking about what you're doing. And it was weird because it was like, I don't think he wants to hook up. I just think he wants me to be salivating over his body. And I was like, I'm okay with that right now because it's really nice. But then it's also annoying. It's like, okay, well, so I feel like this only goes one way. And yeah, that's not very, it's not like long term what I'm into, but like if you just want to flash me a little bit, like, much appreciated. Thank you so much, sir. You guys, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please give us 5 stars if you would. And please email us at makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com. I would love that. All right, I want to tell you guys about one more thing that recently happened. So you guys know I'm living temporarily in a farmhouse that was built in like the 1850s. I'm not even kidding. It's like really what it is. It was actually like a post office, I think, when it was built, and now it's like a farmhouse. And I'm not sure if there's much land. I'm not sure if there's like a lot of animals. I don't think there's any animals aside from chickens and ducks. There's 3 ducks and like 10 chickens. And they live in a little coop, little garagey shed coop thing on the side of the house. Sorry, I thought maybe I heard the chickens. They're literally right outside my window when they're out and about. But I don't think that they're out and about at night because I think they would get like attacked by raccoons and foxes and whatever, honey badgers or whatever the fuck. Although there was a night that I swore I was like in bed and I heard something and it sounded like a chicken ran right into the edge of the house near my window and then just got like fucking attacked by something. It was like dead, like just like murdered in a second. And I like woke up and I was like, ah, but it was like really, it was like nighttime. And I was like, why would the chickens be out at nighttime? They like don't, anyway. Chicken life. So, so I'm like loving these chickens, although I haven't had any opportunities to like go see them. Like basically this house is owned by this woman who's like an occupational therapist, and she hasn't not been here like since I moved in like a week ago or whatever, however long I've been living here. So she has an ex-husband who lives next door, and he's like a handyman and a contractor, and he like comes over every day to like take care of the chickens and the ducks, and he like takes care of certain things about the house because she's just like traveling for work, but like eventually she'll probably be here again, but like she isn't here now. So basically I'm like I'm almost here by myself like all the time. There's a lady that lives upstairs. There's actually 2 ladies that live upstairs. They're both nurses. One of them works like night shifts. The other one works like really, really early morning, but neither of them work like 5 days a week. And they are both not here on the weekends, basically. So I'm just like all by myself, definitely wanting to have like maybe a sexy little visit from somebody that might be fun. working on that. And oh my God, I want to tell you this too. My room has a steam radiator. I lived in a pre-war apartment in Brooklyn before I left New York. And in the winter, my radiator, my steam radiator, would hiss, it would click, it would tap, it would like gurgle, all these things. And I think it was like maybe there is a part of it that should have been like tightened tighter and it was loose. But there were times when it would steam up my entire room. I'd like wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be like in my bed and the room would be like hot and steamy. And I would just be like, I mean, I'm sure some person would wake up and be like, oh God, like I'm like drenched and I'm like, oh, gross. Like I'm in bed and I'm sweating. Oh, what the fuck is going on? And they'd like get all upset and call the super or whatever. But for some reason, I loved it. I think it was because it was like so cold out in New York. It was like so dry outside and like the moisture of this steam radiator just was like, it was hot and it was moist and it just made me feel like sexy and like it was just like really nice. And I don't remember it happening all the time, but I remember it happening sometimes. I also was like really big into steam rooms and saunas back then, so maybe it was like just like an at-home steam situation, but this radiator in the room that I'm in now it doesn't steam up the room, but it makes the room warm. And it is a different kind of feeling than any other kind of heat. Like I don't feel this way about heat from like in my hotel room before I moved here. It was like a heater that would blow hot air into the room, and the room was like hot and dry, and I would wake up with like the worst boogers, and like I'm totally not boogery as much anymore. In part probably because I'm getting used to the climate here. Also, it's been kind of rainy in the last few days, but it was also like last week it was like it got down to 10 degrees. I think I talked to you guys about that. But this steam radiator, it warms the room. And my room was freezing cold. And then I went over to it and I said, oh my God, there's like a little knob. And I turned it and I could hear it was started to like click, like the radiator started clicking or whatever. And now my room is like perfect. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I can like comfortably cover up with my blanket. And then if it starts to get a little too warm, I can take it off and just like straddle my blanket, which I'm a big straddler of things when I'm sleeping. I guess not straddle, like I'm not on top of it like with my legs apart, but like I've got it. I'm hugging I'm like the big spoon and my blanket is like the little spoon or whatever. Like I've got my legs and arms around my blanket and it's just like one leg is kind of mostly covered, the other leg is like uncovered, and it just feels like really nice. And I'm sleeping like Winnie the Pooh with my pants off and my shirt on. I feel like I'm talking so much. Do you guys feel like I'm talking too much? So that radiator is wonderful. So here's the story about the ducks. I get up one morning, I'm all alone. I go into the bathroom. I'm like sitting on the toilet, staring at my phone, whatever. It's chilly in there, and like, usually it's so cold in the bathroom that when I get into the tub, and it's this old, like, heavy, I don't know what they made tubs out of, like, but it's like maybe like metal with ceramic on top of it. Like, I don't know, what are old tubs? It's like not a cheap plastic tub from like the 80s. It's like legit, like heavy ass farmhouse tub from, I mean, the tub probably isn't from the 1850s. It's probably from like, it's probably a pre-war tub at the very earliest or very latest or whatever. So when you get in, it's like freezing cold and it actually like almost hurts your feet. It's so cold. It's almost like stepping into snow. It's so cold. And in the shower, there is a window, a tiny little window. And I like love it. I can like look out when I'm in the shower. If I like on the weekends when I get in the shower a little bit later in the morning, like I can look out and there's little chickens and ducks and I'm like, "Hi guys." And I'm just like in the shower. It's so cute and like you can see the morning sky and like the trees and stuff. It's really beautiful. And so also in my room I can hear cars passing. I'm sure you can hear this in the recording. And I love how people like on the fridge, like the owner left this like just like list of things to consider about the house. And one of the things she said was like, there's a lot of traffic that goes by at certain times of day. So like, you know, if that's hard for you, like you might want to consider getting a pair of earplugs or something, like, which is such a funny thing to say because it's like almost like, well, sorry, can't do anything about it. Get earplugs. So I am also not like I'm not bothered by the noises of cars and outside things. It strangely is very comforting to me. Like I just love hearing that. I love it. It's so wonderful. And it's so soothing. I remember when that same pre-war apartment that used to get all steamy at night, I would lay in my bed and on the other side of the wall, which was like, I feel like it was like a false wall. Like it was like, it wasn't false, but it wasn't like a wall that was like made with like adequate thickness. Like it was added later to like divide up a big apartment into an apartment with multiple bedrooms. So they could call it like a 3-bedroom apartment. But like there probably wasn't, like what was my roommate's room was probably once my room. It probably was all one room. And then they like put up a wall so they could have an extra bedroom or whatever. Because his room was actually really small. And so I would lay in bed and on the other side of the wall was his bed. And he would snore at night. And I used to like just kind of hear his snoring through the wall. And for whatever reason, I loved it. I just loved that I was all alone in my room with the steamy radiator, probably naked. And I could hear his like roaring snore through the wall. Like it was just like, I don't know why I liked it so much. I like noises through walls. I just love it. I think it's so nice. It's the same part of me that used to crawl into the closet in the bathroom when I was a kid, and I would I would crawl into the closet and it was like dark and I was like down at the bottom of the closet, like where we kept like soap and like Q-tips and towels. And so it always smelled nice, like those kinds of things. And I would listen to the water running in the pipes as like, so like basically like my babysitter or my nanny or whatever, my mom, whoever it was, would like start running me a bath and then they'd walk out of the room because it was the fucking like 90s, like early 90s, and apparently you could leave a 6-year-old alone with, you know, hot running bathwater. But I would crawl into the closet and I was like this little naked little baby boy and I would just crawl into the closet and I'd listen to the sound of the water running in the pipes through like the wall. And it was like So soothing. So nice. I think it's the same thing with this fucking radiator. It makes me feel like I am like in utero. Like if it makes me feel like I'm like back in the womb. I feel so cozy and safe and warm. I just love it. Oh God. I think I'm manically happy. Oh God. Anyway, so back to the ducks. I know you guys, you really care. You give a duck about this. I know you do. So I get in the shower the other morning. I'm all alone in the house. I get in the shower and I hear something that's like, it almost sounds like a tapping or like a crackling or something. It was like, I kind of thought like, oh, is it maybe the radiator? Like, what is this? But it was consistently like, tick, 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 tick. And I was just kind of like, that is such a weird noise. And I was like, I hadn't turned the shower on yet. And there's actually no radiator in the bathroom. And I was like, okay, like what is that noise? Is it like something, and when you're, I don't know, there wouldn't have been just like a pipe running through that wall because it's like an old house. Like most of the walls in this house probably don't have pipes or electrical stuff running through them. Like there's probably a lot of original walls in this house that like have nothing in them because they were built before electricity existed. I'm pretty sure. It was like, what? So anyway, so I'm like, what is that clicking noise? And I thought like, wait a second, it almost sounds like maybe like a chicken or something. Cause we think we know what chickens sound like until you're like around a bunch of chickens. And then you're like, oh God, chickens make a bunch of weird noises that I never knew about. And they're all like really adorable and I absolutely love them. Like I'll lay in my bed on a Saturday morning and hear the chickens and it's just like so wonderful. I love it. Like there's not a feckin' rooster, so that's fine. It's just a bunch of chickens, just us chickens. And so I think, is that a chicken noise I'm hearing? That little clicking noise? And I look out the window and I look down and there's no chickens, but there's 3 ducks. And there's 2 brownish ducks and 1 like whiter, creamier duck. And the 1 brown duck is on top of the creamy duck and it's fucking the creamy duck. I mean, they're fucking. And I'm thinking to myself, those aren't all female ducks? Like, all the chickens are female. Those aren't all female ducks? And I'm like, I don't know a lot about birds, but I know that, like, within, like, there's male and female mallards, there's male and female robins, and, like, the men look a certain way and the women look a certain way. Why am I saying men and women? The males and females. All the men look like, all the males look a certain way and all the females look a different way. There's not like a lot of variation within that like breed or whatever of bird. It's the same with ducks. So I'm thinking like, I don't know. I didn't realize that the 2 brown ducks were male and that the creamy duck was female. And I'm thinking, like, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just fucking horny bitches. Like, maybe they have lesbian, like, duck sex. Like, I don't know. But I'm thinking, like, no, I don't think so. Because, like, not a lot of animals other than humans and, like, dolphins and a few other animals, like, have sex for pleasure. I'm like, I don't think ducks would have sex for pleasure. Plus, I'm pretty sure ducks have weird penises. But anyway, they're like a corkscrew or something. So I'm like, what is happening? And the third duck, another brown duck, is just like watching as the first brown duck is like almost like violently fucking the creamy duck. And it's got her pinned down in the mud, and there's like a puddle of water, and it keeps like pecking at the back of her head. It's like taking its beak and like smacking her in the back of the head with its beak, but also like pulling the feathers off of the back of her head a little bit with its like with its little beak, like just kind of like pucking and flucking and plucking and ducking at this poor creamy duck. And I was just like, oh my God. And I almost like wanted to bang on the window or something. And I was like, I felt like I was watching like a duck essay, like while another duck just watched an essay happen. I was just like, what is happening? It was so crazy. And but I also was like, I mean, these are animals. It's like, it was weird, and I wanted to like save the little creamy duck, but like they are animals, and like I don't know, like I guess they put two males and a female duck in there. They must want to get some baby ducks or something. I don't know. I really don't know what they want, but I mean, obviously, unless the both male ducks had like a duck vasectomy, like I think they're probably able to breed. So I just kind of watched, and it was done pretty quick. I mean, it did take a couple minutes though. Like it wasn't as fast as I would have thought. I would have thought like it was like and like over, but it like took like upwards of 3 minutes maybe. I mean, I was watching them for like a minute and a half, and it had been going. I had been hearing that weird noise for at least that. So anyway, I thought, oh no, this poor little duck's gonna be like almost like injured. And I know that sometimes male animals like can actually injure a female during intercourse. Like I think like you have to be careful with like domesticated horses, because like you can, like a mare can get injured by a stallion or whatever. But I was like, I hope that it's not going to happen to the little creamy duck. I've never said the words creamy duck more ever. So they're all of a sudden just done. And then the assaulting duck just kind of like got off her, waddled away, and the other duck that was watching just like waddled right on behind the first duck. And then the creamy female duck, she like got up and she kind of shook her head and she looked around, and then she just waddled right after those two ducks. She's just like, oh, we're done. I just got SA'd and now we're done. Back to the coop or whatever. Let's go tell the chickens about it. I don't know. It was like it was so weird. It was so weird, but also so interesting and a little voyeuristic. But, you know, I imagine people that live or are raised or whatever on farms, they must just have like a much better understanding of like these things and like nature and like, there's actually a podcast. I don't remember the name of it. I need to look it up. But it's about animals. It's about like animals. I don't know if it's about animal sexuality or animals and their sex or what. I think it's about gay animals. I think it's about animals that have been documented doing gay shit. That's actually what I think it's about. And I can't remember what it's called. Maybe I'll look it up right now so I don't have to sound like a fucking asshole. I know it's on here, and I've been wanting to listen to it. Let me see. Let me tap around here. Oh, it's back a ways. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Keep backing up, babble, 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 babble. Okay, I think this is it. It says, oh, it's called Gay Animals. Let me see if I can click on it without, I don't want to like stop my recording. Gay Animals. Season 2. A Field Guide to Gay Animals. And it's by Double Double. It looks really good. There are many episodes. The people who host it, they all look like fun queer people. It's possible they're not, but they probably are. Yeah. I think I'm going to check it out. Apparently, well, I don't really need to get off on this tangent, but apparently there was a gay penguin couple, and the one penguin died recently or not so long ago. Oh, God. And, they, I guess, like, the penguin that survived, like, the dead penguin, like, didn't understand that its partner had passed. Like, it didn't see its dead body. It didn't understand. And so it just kept looking and looking and looking and looking for it. And apparently they realized they had to show the penguin its dead partner so that it would be able to understand that it was dead and then like mourn its loss. And it like totally was like all sad and like mourned the loss of its dead partner. And apparently like they had a baby together because like even though they were gay, they were both male, like penguins are just like hardwired to like raise children. So they got the couple like another like little baby penguin to like orphan or whatever. It was like so adorable. It's like two gay penguins raising a baby. I think that's all true, by the way. I've heard it, so it must be. And so I don't know what happened with the baby after one of the penguins died. I mean, maybe like it mourned the loss of its dead gay dad. I don't know. So sad. I love birds. I like straight up defended birds the other day. I had like a bunch of people talking about how much they hated birds, and I was like, I don't fucking understand. I think birds are fucking amazing. What are you talking about? And then somebody was like, didn't you ever see the movie The Birds? And I was like, that movie is not real. And also it was like made in the 60s or something. And like, no. I was going to tell you guys about something else, but I think I'm going to wait till later. Because it's not really on brand with this episode and all that we've talked about. Also, is it good ASMR for me to just keep yawning? Wait, let's see if you can get some of the sounds of the furnace, the sounds of the steam radiator. I just heard a gurgle. There's a ting. Let's see if I can get closer to it. Let's see if you guys can hear what I got going on here. Let's go over here. I'm going to move towards the radiator. I'll be quiet. There's little sounds. There's also the sounds of cars. But like right now, the radiator actually doesn't feel warm. It feels kind of like the like a little warm. And I don't think I have the valve completely open. I don't really understand how it works. I think I don't know if just steam comes into the metal radiator, or if it fills with hot water in some part and then it rises up. But it sounds like gurgling and sloshing of water inside. And for some reason that is it's like an animal thing. It makes me so happy. It makes me relaxed. It makes me feel just all sorts of good things. It makes my brain just really peaceful. It feels like it's heating up more. I really thought we'd get more noises out of it. I don't know if this is good podcasting or not. There's a little dinging. Doink. Doink. I don't think you guys are going to get it. Ah, damn. You'll have to come over sometime. You'll have to come by and get into my bed. This bed also is it's really strangely lumpy and soft and amazing. But I'm also worried that it's ruining my back. I'm not gonna survive. It's gonna ruin me. Anyway, guys, I'm so happy you tuned in. I'm so happy that I was able to record this episode without being in the car. And I don't think that it was necessarily a low energy recording, despite the fact that I'm in my bed. I was literally flat on my back for the entire episode. And yes, you were on top of me. So now you can say we've done that. I hope you guys rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please email us again, makesexmepodcast@gmail.com. And I hope you guys are, getting ready for the holidays. I'm literally flying back to South Carolina to see family on Christmas Day. I actually get in at midnight on Christmas Day. Not Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. That would be magical. Literally getting in at midnight from Christmas Day to the day after. Fucking Boxing Day or whatever the fuck. So that's fun. But hey, you gotta go when the flights are cheap. But isn't it funny that even now, I still have this part of me that's oh, I'm gonna fly. Oh, I'm out of control. Oh, something bad's gonna happen. It's especially because things are going well, or because I've been daring, or because I literally had the audacity to change my life. Now I'm so much more afraid that something bad's gonna happen. Oh, fun. How fun is this? Trauma shit. Anyway, love you guys. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you're filling your holes with steam heat, baby. Or just whatever makes you feel gooey. I feel gooey. I feel really gooey. I feel really gooey. Yeah. Bye.